Hey VAT, welcome back. Today we're going to talk a little bit about creating lines with Adobe Illustrator because we're working our way towards creating these icons. For millions of years we have had human beings making language pictorially, so we have symbols that mean certain things in many different cultures throughout man's history. So I was looking at some of the symbols that were popular amongst some of the American Indian tribes, and so we have some really simplistic things that we can do that have great meaning to us. And so I was kind of thinking about making a good luck symbol today, and that would include not only being able to use the simple shape building tools like squares, but also be able to use the line tools like the line segment tool. I'll also show maybe how to do something like this river right here so that we understand how to make curved lines as well. And so let's get started. First and foremost, to know that what we can do is, this is on the website today, we can go to the photo, any photo, and looking on Pinterest and on Google Images, you can find all kinds of simple pictorial languages like this one, the Vikings, ancient Egypt, and things like that. So they're very readily available all over the internet. So we find something like this and say I want to use this. I can eyeball it and say I know what that looks like and go ahead and go over to Illustrator and make it, or you can just hit right click on a picture on the internet and hit copy image, and then going over to Adobe Illustrator when you make your new document, and this is just going to be icons, maybe like rough drafts, so I can just use this page to experiment and make some things. Letter size documents, great. Hit OK. Makes a brand new document, and then I still have that thing copied, that picture copied, so I can just go to Edit, Paste, and there's my cheat sheet, so to speak, that's ready for me to use. Zooming in on the ones that I wanted to make, the one that means good luck. So I'll just zoom in on that real quick. And to produce this, it's super simple because it just is made up of squares and a couple of lines. So I'm going to make this big square first. And I'll just make that a white fill and a black border. And I'll make the border a little bit more, a little bit thicker. So using the weight of that to make, say, 4 points is where I ended up. I'm going to take the fill out of there so I can see how big the square in the center is. So I'm going to use that to make my second square. And that is going to be filled with black, and no stroke is going to be applied to that. Now, I've got these little lines coming off of that, so I'm going to use the line segment tool to produce that. And I'm just going to make a line that connects there, and I'm going to make it the same weight as my square was, and that was 4 points. And I'm going to do that here as well. I don't like that one. I'll start that one over. And I'll do another one here. And another one here. And at that point, then I can take my, zoom out a little bit and just take my cheat sheet away, and then I've got this design made. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these little lines, these little line segments that I made for the corners, and I'm going to go to the stroke panel and give them a rounded end so that they're rounded. If I wanted to, I could do more editing to that, but once I'm done, usually it's got a bunch of shapes included in it, and I'm going to right click on it and group them all together. That way when I click on it, they all move together. So grouping is a good idea when you have a bunch of different pieces. The other one that I wanted to see if I could reproduce is this river symbol. And so a river symbol has more of a curvy line. And you can start with a line segment, right, like that is straight. And we'll give it a stroke, like black, to match the cheat sheet. And I'll make it 4 points just like the other one. I'm also going to make the ends of this a little bit rounded, not like in the how it is like a flat, abrupt end to that line. So I'll just round it out. Now, I can't make any details to this line. It's a straight line. The only anchor points are at the beginning and the end. But what I can do is I can use this new tool that I hope that you guys will try out. Inside of this thing called the pen tool, there is an add anchor point tool, and also the delete anchor point tool as well. So add anchor points can help you to add anchor points like so. And then we already know direct selection tool can help us to move these anchor points like that. Now it still looks like very mountainous instead of wavy because these are corners. And right now, if I was to click on one of these anchor points with the direct selection tool, the white arrow, and I can convert that to smooth. So I can convert that to smooth, that to smooth, this one to smooth, this one to smooth. And what that does is it makes your anchor point have those handlebars that we discovered the other day when we were making hearts and stuff. And these handlebars can be edited to make your line curve the way that you want it to. So eventually you end up with a line. And now at this stage I'm ready to get rid of my cheater again. And I can zoom in, and this line can just be duplicated, copy, paste, and then move it down and over, and then I've got that symbol. Okay, so you can customize lines by adding anchor points and now I'm going to group this. By adding anchor points and by moving those anchor points, you can customize your line to whatever you want it to be. So whatever curved sort of shape you're trying to produce. Using line segments and being able to alter the lines and using general shapes and being able to edit those shapes, we should be able to get a majority of these things reproduced. Okay? So have fun. See you in class.